Lorraine.
The doctor who helped us catch Obama's bin Laden. Thank you.
First, the president saying, well, we'll let the UN deal with it. And Kofi Annan came in and said, we're going to try to have a ceasefire. That didn't work. Then it looked to the Russians and said, let's see if you can do something.
But also to double our exports.
We shall double our
exports.
I hope so, Commander, for your sake.
I also lowered taxes for small businesses 18 times. And what I want to do is continue, and we've cut them 18 times. And I want to continue.
I don't blame the administration. We cut taxes 19 times. It puts in place an unelected board that's going to tell people ultimately what kind of treatments they can have. I don't like that idea.
We're not going to eliminate everybody who is mentally disturbed, because there's no reason why Americans should die when Afghans are perfectly capable.
She didn't understand, McCain aides told me today, that Africa was a continent and not a country.
One of the things that is a huge advantage for America compared to countries like Europe is actually Candy, hold on a second.
Mr. President, I'm still speaking.
I'm sorry.
Mr. President, why don't you let me finish? I'm going to.
You've now heard 3 debates, months of campaigning, and way too many TV commercials. And now you've got a choice. Governor Romney did a good thing.
I am confident that you will be our nominee, and I am even more confident that you will be the next president.
Whisking aside the 10th Amendment, which gives states the rights for these kinds of things, is not the course for America.
It was like Special Olympics.
No, that's very good.
So what we need to do with respect to the Middle East is...
Well, there's a specific.
But let's mention the other one. Let's talk the other big one.
No, let's not. Okay. Let's let him respond way over the 2 minutes.
Sorry.
And it was all planned. I wanted to be a veterinarian and marry that woman on the front stage. And then he introduced me to organic chemistry. And I became a pilot in the United States Air Force, but thank God I got to marry that woman on the front row.
He wanted to go to medical school and find a cure for cancer. But then he met reality, which for him came in the form of organic chemistry. Now, I've identified areas where we can right away make a change that I believe would actually help the economy. Governor Romney and I both agree that our corporate tax rate is too high. So I want to lower it. Because keep in mind, this is just to pay for the additional spending that he's talking about. $7-8 trillion. That's before we even get to the deficit we already have. We've got potentially 600,000 jobs and 100 years worth of energy right beneath our feet with natural gas. Donald Trump is a small business. And I know Donald Trump doesn't like to think of himself as small anything, but that's how you define small businesses.
Governor Romney, I'm sure you've got a reply there.
Mine had more women. I will not, under any circumstances, reduce the share that's being paid by the highest income taxpayers.
Governor Romney doesn't have a 5-point plan. He has a 1-point plan. And that plan is to make sure that folks at the top play by a different set of rules.
The top 5% of taxpayers will continue to pay 60% of the income tax the nation collects.
We've built enough pipeline to wrap around the entire earth once.
Say hello to the new champ of Chandler's Dumb States Game.
Well, how many you got?
56.
What if Joey was president?
I've now been in 57 states.
We don't need more M1 tanks. What we need is more UAVs.
Some of the military. I know that's
not some of the military. That was the decision of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, recommended to us and agreed to by the president.
Who answered to a civilian leader?
They made the recommendation first.
Okay, let's move on to Afghanistan.
No one got pulled out that didn't get filled in by trained Afghan personnel. We're sending in more Afghans to do the job. Afghans to do the job. We are working hand and glove with the Turks, with the Jordanians, with the Saudis. You be a little straight with me here, too.
You can take a look
Governor
at the op-ed.
Romney, you
can
did
take a look at the op-ed.
You did not say that you would provide governor help.
I said that we would provide guarantees.
You said Russia in the 1980s are now calling to ask for their foreign policy back because, you know,
I'm not going to wear rose-colored glasses when it comes to Russia or Mr. Putin, and I'm certainly not going to say to him, I'll give him more flexibility after the election. After the election, he'll get more backbone.
He's vetoed 3 of them. Hillary Clinton went to Russia to try and convince them not to do so. They thwarted her efforts. She said they were on the wrong side of history. She was right about that.
Nothing political about this.
America's strength. We're the great nation that has allies, 42 allies and friends around the world.
Well, Governor, we also have fewer horses and bayonets.
You already are the oldest president in history.
I am not going to exploit for political purposes my opponent's youth and inexperience.
I leave you with the words of my mom, who said,
Hope and change for our country.
If we had taken your advice, Governor Romney, about our auto industry, we'd be buying cars from China instead of selling cars to China. Ultimately, we're going to have to make some decisions.
But I'm the decider.
And I make those decisions.
Latin America is a huge opportunity for us. Time zone, language opportunities. Number 3.
Our thanks to the participants for their time and to the people of Hofstra University for their hospitality.
My plan is not like anything that's been tried before.
It's been done before. It's precisely what we're proposing.
it has never been done before.
It's been done a couple of times, actually.
It has never been
Jack
done
Kennedy
before.
lowered tax rates, increased growth. Ronald Reagan.
Now you're Jack Kennedy.
Ronald Reagan.
That is not the kind of American leadership that John F. Kennedy talked about 50 years ago.
I have as much experience in the Congress as Jack Kennedy did when he sought the presidency.
I knew Jack Kennedy. Jack Kennedy was a friend of mine. Senator, you're no Jack Kennedy.
That was really uncalled for, Senator.
Since you seem to be taking no hostages on the stage, let me ask you a question.
This fellow they've nominated claims he's the new Thomas Jefferson. Well, let me tell you something. I knew Thomas Jefferson. He was a friend of mine. And Governor, you're no Thomas Jefferson.
As George Costanza would say, when they're applauding, stop, right? Mr. President, it's good to be with you again. We were together at a humorous event a little earlier, and it's nice to maybe be funny this time, not on purpose. We'll see what happens. This is obviously an area of great concern to the entire world.